What's happening, party people? If you don't know it, I am on my Western USA Help Tour. I'm currently in Las Vegas. Will probably be here another week to 10 days, and then I'm headed to Southern Cal. I got a manual swap to do, a couple of infotainment systems to install, and a lot of other maintenance and repair stuff on a couple of folks' vehicles here. So if you're in the Las Vegas area, you need my help for some reason, call or text me. And if you're in the Southern Cal area, which I will be headed to next, kind of like the LA area, let me know. And if there's something I could do to help you, I'd be glad to do so. Just a reminder, for those of you who are paid subscribers to my social media, phone and text support is free. If you are not a paid subscriber and you need my help, figure out a way to send me $10, put your name in the notes of that, and then call or text me, and I'll be glad to take some time to help you, guide you through your issues. So that's where I'm at. That's what's going on. Man, I'm still got kind of jet lag, waking up at 4 in the morning, getting super sleepy at 8 at night. So hopefully my clock will adjust, because I know you folks out west here, y'all like to stay up late. And man, I'm having a hard time doing that. So I appreciate you tuning in. This video clip, I was still in Lincoln, Nebraska, working on that BMW. And I got so much of the video done, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down and get this posted so that I can get to work, because it is now almost 7 o'clock. I need to do some exercise, need to get breakfast, need to get prepared to get to work as soon as I can. So appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for your support. Have a great day. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you could click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Here we go. Kicking off the Tinker Day. Man, every bay is occupied. Except for that spot up there to the right. That's not really a bay, it's just workspace. At any rate, this car is not on the lift, and I need a lift, so I think I'm gonna move this vehicle, because this is where I normally been working. There's a lift here. This vehicle is not up. That vehicle is torn apart on the lift, and there's a vehicle over there on a kind of a roll lift type situation. So I'm going to go back where I normally am, right here. What I'm going to do is get the car out at a spot, roll it back to where mine is. I'm going to pull that Honda in here, and then I'm going to move the BMW up there and get to work. Hopefully that won't be an issue for nobody. I have contacted someone and let them know I was here. Evidently, whoever's been here since my last visit did not know that this BMW is running, because they put it on these wheel things and moved it around instead of just driving it. So sorry they didn't know that. But anyway, let's get cracking. Vehicle in position, time to get cracking. I'm gonna start out by getting this thing up in the air and seeing if it's got any leaks underneath. One thing I wanted to do was see if this radiator was leaking, and it is dry. Awesome. Dry on both sides, so I don't think the radiator's leaking. However, nothing else up here is leaking. All this stuff is dry. I've been sitting for 2 weeks. We do have a rear main seal leaking. That's a transmission out job. And we also have some seepage, or it could be a leak as well out of this rear diff. I'm not sure if this plate seal is leaking. I doubt drain bolts are leaking, but that's possible too. You're supposed to check the level in this one, drain the level in that one. Also looks like these axles may be leaking a little bit as well. So let me ask the group and see where I should go from here. Next up on this BMW is this fuel sending unit. I don't know if it's got a pump in there or not. I can hear the float sliding and seeing it, but all the videos I've seen are different. It's supposed to be under the seat on this passenger side in the rear. So let's drop this car down to the ground, see if we can access this fuel pump area. You could disconnect the negative on the battery if you want. I am not going to. You want to move this passenger seat all the way forward, the driver's seat forward, so you can get this rear seat out. You can accomplish that by lifting this up, moving the seat forward. It also has a seat release in the front of it that lets it slide forward. After that, you grab the seats under here on the edges and jerk them up, and that latch is released. You get a latch right there, latch on the other side, and that comes up and out. As always, this is a good time to clean all the stuff that somebody has let get under the seat. We got straws, coffee stir, leaves, all the above. Now, lift your carpet up here, try not to tear it. Now, my guess would be a fuel sending unit on that side, fuel pump on this side. Let's take that side up first. We got 3 screws. Now, I can show you here with the key on that we have no reading at all on the fuel gauge. It just says gas is empty, and I could turn the key and it'll start. Gas gauge is all the way dead. Let me get a Phillips and take that panel off. Take the standard number 2 Phillips and unscrew these 3 screws. Try not to lose your screws. This panel is probably semi-sealed down with a gasket, but you want to pry it up and don't bend it when you do it, or something. Oh, it just came right up. Now you see here is our sending unit. Has a special connector on it, and I'm not sure how it's secured in there, so let me try to figure that out. Got a special connector here. The one that we have has a special plug on it. Up, that cap comes off. That may have disintegrated. Let me see how to. I'm gonna pull these wires out of here, unplug it, and see how I can unscrew this. Well, from the looks of this, I think we have the wrong part for this. So let me contact my supplier and go from there. Okay, we are gonna reseal the rear diff. This rear diff is leaking. I don't know if it's leaking around the casing. It could be. Maybe it's not. Man, it's got this big mount attached to it. That kind of sucks. If it is, it's very minor. It looks like most of the leak is coming out of the fill and drain plug. I could check the torque on these bolts that go around there just to make sure. Definitely also have some seepage. Call it seepage. Looks like it's slinging a little grease off of the half shafts. So I think I have the seals needed to do these half shafts, and I could service this diff, put fresh fluid in there, fresh crush washers on there. This is a kit I got from FCP. I assume it's proper. Some things are, some things are not. I think that's the pinion seal, and these are the half shaft seals. We're going to pull a half shaft and see. I'm pretty sure I could pull these half shafts out without taking the whole half shaft out of the car. The boots are not torn, and they're not damaged to my knowledge. They don't have many miles on them. Well, let me take that back. I don't know how many miles on them because the odometer gear is busted. But it shows about 91,000. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I could take these out. These are probably 6 or 7 millimeter. Kind of like a drive shaft that goes for all-wheel drive car. I'm gonna take these 6 out, Hopefully the parking brake is set, which it is. That'll hold that steady. Then I should be able to pry this half shaft off of this part of the shaft that goes in the diff, kind of like the gearing for the diff. I could drop that down, let it hang down or tie it up so it don't just hang. Then I could pop the part of the shaft that goes in the diff out. Then I should be able to pull that seal out. So let me go get my tool and take these out. Looks like 7mm, maybe 6, I'll tell you in a minute. And we're gonna pull these shafts out. Then we're also gonna change the fluid when I figure out what kind of fluid goes in there. And then we'll install new crush washers on there. Clean this up real good. And he'll have to check it in a while, see if it's leaking. I hope the diff itself is not leaking. The pinion on the front side appears to be bone dry, so that's a good thing. Let's get started. 8mm hex, break them loose. You want to push the rubber boot in, get those broke loose. And I don't think you want to break this bottom one loose. Too much stress on the rubber boot, so break them loose around there, then spin the wheel and break this last one loose. Only do one side at a time so nothing goes on in the gearbox, your diff or nothing like that doesn't float around and fall out. Do one side completely, put it back together, then do the other side. I'm taking these 3 out, then I'm gonna spin the wheel, and then I'm gonna take the other 3 out. And this bolt was wet with oil, so that seal is leaking. I got a pan under there to catch any fluid to come out. Usually when I pull a shaft out, the oil level is just below the shaft, the service bolt, and no oil comes out of it, but we'll see what happens on this one. As I pulled the last bolt out, the shaft started to fall away from the gearbox. So there you have it. Now I need to pull this out of the gearbox, and I should be able to just put something on here and pry this out. Sometimes they pop out easy, sometimes they're a little stubborn. Let me go grab a pry bar. I put a caliper hanger on the half shaft so it's not sitting down on the CV part of the half shaft. I got the pry bar here. I could pry it on that nut on the back of this, and there it is. It came out very easy. You can put this in the way it came out if you want. So we got this letter 8 up here that's straight up. Just pull this out, and there's a seal sitting in there. You want to check the seal, make sure you have the right seal to go in there. You can also try to look in there, check the fluid level, but the best way to check the fluid level is to pull this bolt out. The fluid level should be at this top bolt hole. Pull that bolt, it may drip out, but if it's below that, it's leaked too much out. Let me go see if I got this seal. Sadly, I don't think either one of my seals fit. This one here is too small. It just falls around in there. Unless there's some kind of recess in there that this seal fits in. But I could check the numbers on it. I have 4467 by 10. And there's 15.5. I don't know what that is. That's probably a part number there. BMW. Now this one here is a 45 by 75, 10, 14. So let's see if we can tell what this is here. We're gonna put some light on this thing. Here you go. See if we can see some numbers in there and get the right seal. It looks like an open diff. Well, looking at it a little closer, I think this thing is actually the smaller seal that I have here. It looks like the 4467, so there's an inner ring in there that thing sits in. Let me confirm it. Okay, I think it's the smaller of the seals I have, so I'm going to put this pry bar in here. Make sure I don't put the pry bar on the lip of the inner ring, because I don't want to damage the housing that the seal sits in and just pop this out. I'm gonna hit this handle with the palm of my hand and pop that seal out. And there's the seal. And as you can see, I didn't ride on the rim of it, but I did ride on the metal part. So the seal's popped out and there's no scratch in there. Let's grab our seal and confirm. Wherever I put them, probably on my deal. So I have 90, 81 there. And the numbers here, it's a BMW seal. 4467, 108 it looks like. 4467, 108. And the seal I have is 4487, 1015. So this is a different seal. It's the same size that way, but this one has this funny lip on it that the shaft will go over. So I assume this will work, but it's not the proper right seal. So I'm going to wipe that out with a rag. You could lubricate the outer rim of this if you'd like, so it'll go in easier. And I'm gonna set that in, being careful not to damage it. It's good if you have a seal install tool like I have for these, and you want to get it in the right setting. I don't know if this seal install tool is the right size for this one. Let me see what size seal is on this one. Can't see the numbers on this one, but you don't want anything that'll damage the seal on there. And the purpose of these seal install tools is to hold the ring open as you drive these in, so that you don't toss the thing on this, but it's not going on the shaft, so that's not a danger. You don't want to toss the spring. This seal install tool actually goes in there, so it'll probably be fine with driving this in. You could tap it with a plastic or rubber mallet to get it in there. Just want to make sure you don't damage the inner rim of the seal. Now this seal driving tool, although it does fit the ID, it doesn't match what you want to do, because you want a tool that the shoulder has an inset that's perfect to what you want. This inset is probably 4 times as deep as that original seal was set in, and it doesn't come out wider than this seal, so it won't stop it. You'll need a special seal driving tool, so be real careful with driving this in. What I did was drove it in, and I got like probably a 1/16 of an inch inset inside this outer ring all the way around. You want to drive it in even and straight. Now that inner lip there should grab that axle shaft and stop oil from coming out of that seal. And this here is just kind of a dust ring that will sit on it. And this has a dust ring on it as well. So I'm gonna wipe this off, put this back in there with that number 8 up, tap it in, and it should be good to go. I could clean this stuff off. I can actually clean this off on the parts washer so that it's clean. Spray this down with some degreaser and brush it off so that it's clean, and you can see if it leaks easier after you clean it up. Check it a week or so later. I stuffed the rag in there, sprayed around it with degreaser, brushed it with a wire brush, then a vinyl brush. Then I sprayed around it with brake parts cleaner. Now you take your shaft, kind of line it up the way it came out, and just push it in. You may have to twist it back and forth a little bit. Now it's in. Now you could put this back in place and start tightening those bolts up. I think somebody said they get tightened to 40 foot-pounds. I'll try to verify that. Hold this thing up, wiggle it in place. Make sure you start all of these bolts by hand. You don't want to cross-thread any of them. Run them down in there. After you get all 6 of them in, then you torque them. Got all the bolts out of this side, and it's kind of nice because the axle just rests on the exhaust. So make sure your exhaust's not hot. Make sure you don't break your CV boot. Let me go ahead and pry this out, get the seal out. My 18 is at 10 o'clock. So you want to try to see how deep this seal is in here. It's pretty flush to the lip in there, if it's not hanging out this way a little bit. So you don't need it recessed, you just need it flush. It looks like it went in straight. I am good to go. Put this thing the rest of the way back together. Cleaned and wiped off the mating surface. You can actually put some anti-seize around there, just not on the bolts, to prevent that thing from rusting in if you're in a rust area or drive this vehicle in winter salty conditions. Most of you guys are parking these things in the winter, but just in case, you can do that. Let me hook this up and torque it. We're gonna tap out for the day. Did more learning than working, but we got this back here rig built. And we got the right part ordered for the fuel tank. We should get it hopefully Wednesday. So let's wrap this up. But man, this rear main seal is just dripping. So probably gonna have to deal with that. It's right there. If you made it this far, I trust that you found some information that was either useful or entertaining. So go ahead and hit the like button. And if you would like notification of future videos that I post, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. You can follow me on other social media apps by looking for @RobertDIY. Some form of that should bring up the other channels that I have on places like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. If for some reason you need some more personal help, go to my website at robertdiy.com and use the phone number that I have posted there to send me a text message, or you can email me. If you have questions or comments, please make a comment below. And if you'd like to make some kind of financial contribution to what I got going on here, go to my channel and hit the more link at the end of the introduction statement, and it'll show you different ways that you can support me financially. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.